Hello and welcome back to Create Things. So today uh, I will introduce you a new character, Morveth. She's the queen of my dark fantasy story. So I hope you will enjoy uh, just me creating this artwork and telling you about the story of her, because she is a very important character in the whole thing that I'm doing right now. Thank you very much. So let me introduce you to Morveth, the queen, and now I'll tell her story, so enjoy it. Thank you. So long before humanity gave names to the stars, long before maps of the sky were carved into stone, there were watchers. Not gods, not angels, not saviors. They were something older. They moved between worlds in silence, through traveling the black oceans of space inside a vessel so massive that entire moons could disappear beneath its shadow. It had no flag, no nation, no home. It was built for conquest, and it was not built for peace. It was built for judgment. And inside that ancient ship lived three beings, known across dying planets only by whispers. Oguloth, the watcher of corruption, Nargul, the destroyer of false empires, and above them all, Morveth, the queen. She did not rule a planet, she did not need one. Morveth had no throne made of gold, no place beneath a sun, no kingdom filled with worshippers. Her kingdom was the void itself. Her throne was the command chamber of the ship, surrounded by windows that showed galaxies like dying sparks in an endless grave. The three of them were guardians of planets, but not in the way humans would understand. They did not protect civilization from war. They did not stop hunger. They did not answer prayers. They watched, they measured, they listened when a planet began to suffer. Because every living world had a voice. Most humans never heard it. They were too busy building cities over forests, poisoning rivers, burning the sky, and calling it progress. But planets could scream, and one day Earth screamed loud enough for the watchers to hear. The alarm echoed through the ship like a wound opening in a metal. Oguloth was the first to move. His many eyes opened into darkness, each one reflecting a different place on Earth. Burning forests, oceans filled with waste, animals trapped behind fences, machines staring into mountains, humans killing humans while speaking of peace. Nargul stood beside him, tall and silent, his unnatural arms hanging almost to the floor. He watched the images without emotion. And then Morveth arrived. Her presence changed the room. Even Oguloth lowered his gaze. Even Nargul stepped aside. Morveth walked slowly through the chamber, wrapped in black royal armor that looked as if it had been grown from bone and shadow. Her skin was pale and cold, her mouth calm, almost beautiful in a terrifying way. But behind that mouth was her true weapon, her hunger. A tongue, impossibly long, ancient, alive, with acid strong enough to burn through flesh, stone, and steel. Morveth looked at the images of Earth. For a long time she said nothing. Then she smiled. Again, she whispered. Oguloth's eyes shifted. More visions appeared. A whale dying with plastic inside its body. A child coughing beneath a grey sky. A forest reduced to black ash. Factories pouring poison into water. Humans standing in front of cameras promising change while behind them destruction continued. Nargul finally spoke. The planet has triggered a full distress signal. Oguloth's voice followed, deep and hollow. The damage is no longer natural decay, it is intelligent destruction. Morveth tilted her head. Intelligent? She asked. Her smile widened. No intelligence knows when to stop. The chamber fell silent. Earth turned slowly in the great window before them, blue, white, green, and wounded. Morveth stepped closer to the glass. So beautiful, she said, and so infected. Nargul looked at her. Do we erase them? Oguloth's eyes blinked one after another. The law of watchers allow intervention. The planet asked for judgment. Morveth did not answer immediately. She placed one long finger against the glass. From far away, Earth looked peaceful. That was the cruelest lie. No, Morveth said. Not yet. Nargul turned his head slightly. No? Morveth's voice was calm. They will receive a final chance. Oguloth's eyes narrowed. Humanity has ignored thousands of warnings from their own world. Then they will not ignore mine. The ship changed direction. For the first time in thousands of years, the Watchers moved towards Earth. No telescope saw them coming at first. No government knew what approached. The vessel did not enter the solar system like a meteor or machine. It arrived like a shadow, returning to its body. When it passed Mars, satellites went blind. When it crossed the orbit of the moon, tides shifted. When it stopped above Earth, every screen on the planet went black. Then Morveth appeared. Her face filled televisions, phones, billboards, military monitors, cinema screens, watches, cars, and every device capable of showing an image. Every human who looked at the screen saw her. No translation was needed. Her voice entered the mind directly. People of Earth, she said. I am Morveth. The world froze. In cities, people stopped walking. In homes, families stared in silence. In military bases, soldiers reached for weapons that suddenly felt useless. In churches, temples, mosques, and empty bedrooms, humans looked up and felt something ancient looking back. Morveth continued. I speak for the Watchers, Oguloth, Nargul, and myself. Behind her, two shadows appeared. Oguloth covered in eyes that saw every lie. Nargul tall and still, like a living execution. Morveth raised her chin. Your planet has called for us. Some people laughed, some cried, some dropped to their knees. Many believed it was fake, a global hack, a government experiment, artificial intelligence, a movie promotion, a religious sign, a trick. Humans were very good at denying what stood directly in front of them. Morveth seemed to know this. She leaned closer. Earth is not yours, she said. You live upon it, you feed from it, you bury your dead inside it. You breathe because it allows you to breathe. But you have mistaken permission for ownership. Her voice became colder. You cut open its forests, you poison its blood, you burn its skin. You slaughter its creatures and call their suffering industry. You build towers from bones of the future and call yourself advanced. The screens flickered. Images appeared behind her, not edited, not symbolic, but real places, real destruction, and real human hands. Then Morveth gave the sentence that would change history. You have 1 year. The words sank into the minds of billions. 1 cycle around your sun, or 1 year to change the condition of this world. 1 year to prove that humanity is not a disease wearing the mask of civilization. Nargul stepped forward. If the planet's condition remains the same, or becomes worse, Morveth smiled again. Then humanity ends. The silence after that was worse than screaming. Then the world exploded into noise. News channels came back online, leaders demanded answers. Religious figures argued, scientists studied the signal, influencers made jokes, people made memes, politicians promised emergency meetings, but nothing changed. Like, not really. Within 3 days, the fear became entertainment. Within 7 days, people were already arguing about whether Morveth was real. Within 2 weeks, some worshipped her, others mocked her, some called her a demon. Some called her queen, some said humanity should fight. But Morveth did not speak again. The ship remained above Earth, visible only at night, like a black scar across the stars. For months it waited, and humanity did what humanity always did. It talked, blamed, divided, promised, delayed, so in secret weapons were prepared, missiles were aimed at the ship, experimental aircraft were launched, signals were sent, nothing worked. The ship did not even react. Then, 6 months after the warning, a man became famous for saying the thing millions wanted to believe. His name was Adrian Vale, a rich speaker, a performer, a man who built his career by laughing at fear. He stood before a crowd of thousands in a massive stadium and pointed at the night sky. "There is no queen up there," he shouted. The crowd cheered. "There are no watchers, there is no judgment, there is only control. Fear is how they rule you." The crowd roared louder. Adrian smiled, and if Morveth was real, he looked directly into the cameras. "Then let her come down here and prove it." The stadium lights died, every phone shut off, every voice stopped, the air turned cold. Above the stage something opened. Not a door, not a portal, like a wand in space. Morveth descended without wings, her black robes moving as if it's underwater. She touched the stage gently like a queen entering a room, already belonging to her. The crowd did not cheer now. Adrian stepped back. For the first time in his life he had no words. Morveth looked at him. "You asked for proof." He tried to laugh. It came out broken. This is some kind of trick." Morveth moved closer. Her eyes were not visible, yet everyone felt seen. "You stood before your species and told them not to listen. You turned a warning into performance. You fed them comfort because truth gave them pain." Adrian raised his hands. "Listen, I was just—" Morveth opened her mouth. The crowd saw it then. Her hunger. Her tongue, uncoiled slowly, impossibly long, dark and wet, glowing faintly with acid that hissed as it touched the air. It moved like a serpent, like a living chain, like something born in the stomach of a dead star. People screamed. Adrian fell backward. Morveth's tongue snapped forward. It wrapped around him before he could run. The acid did not spill wildly. It obeyed her. It burned only where she wished it to burn. His scream filled the stadium. Morveth lifted him from the stage as if he weighted nothing. The entire world watched, not through cameras, through the screens she controlled. Every human saw it, every human heard it. Morveth held him in the air. "This is not cruelty," she said. "This is demonstration." Adrian's body went still. Morveth released him. What fell to the stage was no longer a man who could mock the sky. The stadium became silent. Morveth turned toward the crowd. "You do not need to believe in judgment," she said. "You only need to be present when it arrives." Then she looked upward toward the ship. The year continues. The wound in space opened again. Morveth rose into the darkness and vanished. The lights returned. Phones turned back on. The world had its proof. And still, nobody knew whether humanity would change, or whether Morveth had wanted them to fall from the beginning. Some months passed after Morveth's warning. The giant ship never left Earth's orbit. Every night it remained there, a black silhouette among the stars, reminding humanity that it was being watched. Some people changed, forests were replanted, animals were rescued, Communities fought to heal the land, but elsewhere the destruction continued. Factories still poisoned rivers under the cover of darkness. Wars still consumed innocent lives. Entire forests disappeared overnight. Humanity was trying, yet humanity was also refusing to change. And inside the ancient ship, Oguloth watched everything through his countless eyes. "There is progress," he said, "but there is also deception." Nargul looked down at Earth. They believed small victories will erase centuries of destruction. Morveth stood silently before the enormous window. Her reflection disappeared into the darkness of space. "They still think this is about earning my approval." She slowly turned toward the others. It never was. Far below, governments continued making promises. Scientists worked day and night. Millions of ordinary people tried to protect what was left of the planet. Others laughed at the warning. Some even claimed Morveth would never return, that she had already left, that the entire event had somehow been faked. Morveth smiled. Humans always find comfort inside denial. Suddenly, Oguloth's eyes focused on a single point on Earth. "They are preparing weapons again." Nargul clenched his fists. "They have learned nothing." Morveth remained calm. "No. They have learned. They simply haven't decided who they want to become." Silence filled the command chamber. Outside the window, Earth slowly rotated beneath them. Beautiful, fragile, uncertain, Nargul finally broke the silence. 6 months remain." Oguloth nodded. "The planet still waits for our judgment." Morveth looked toward the stars instead of the Earth. "No. It waits for humanity's." The three watchers stood together, without speaking. No one knew what decision Morveth would make when the final day arrived. Not Oguloth, not Nargul, not even the planet that had called them. Only one thing was certain: the countdown had not stopped, and somewhere above the earth, the Queen was still watching. So I hope you enjoyed this little story of Morveth, and what I wanted to say is I'm thinking about making a comic or graphic novel about this. So tell me if you're interested in something like that or not, and leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment, and like always, please give me your feedback. I'm always happy about them, and then we will see us next time. Thank you very much.